answering the junta's call to mobilize. Tens of thousands of volunteers gathered outside of Niger's national stadium to join the armed forces. For the junta, this is a show of popular support for last month's coup, an act of defiance in the face of the threat of military action from the West African body ECOWAS, which wants to reinstate the deposed elected President Bazoum.
Abusia nansemu yenyina nim coup ahodo aban to go a ekoso ewa bibimem memfa monko akiri kura no di si ye ncheye baby te se Niger baby te se Gabon eho nyina no aban to go ahodo ekoso na edu sampempenso we a aya na yehia enimdifo na ye no ma twetwe etwenkomo Ebusuan sabe kaya metane abranti bi edi nkomo efa politics ho enoma esisi ewuiase same kaya sa abranti wi editudwa emre bi etwemu se afe na yesimu no ebeye afe a enoma hodro ebekoso na esanse utumri na wachire sint no se ensema obepredict no se bemu a ne yakọ asa akwa na ba na yene no atwetwe nkomo abobo ho na ebusuan ediebe nti anama sa noma no ekoso ewoye ebibimem yene yenwan ebetwetwe nkomo edi afa ho yenchen so no mumi ntwa no ntum ewa ahoma no na yene no endi nkomo emfa coup ahodo a ekoso na ebusuan yiwi a yesa de ne bebem ewoye Ghana politics ibewuram kakra ewo Ghana politics na enonso so no na adwenkyere kakra ewo ho no abusuya oni ye nyina ya che abusuya mumye ma ye nwia ya kwa aba emfamba dwumadie no so bi emenua boko de
nana boko na wonso
nyamya dom bibia boko menua ise de wose wutimi etia sorry o because a normal predicty nyina no yakwa akwa se asofo echenwa omochenwo se omukuta twere konkron na wodi wunkuta twere konkron de be na wutimi hunu ensem a wo kan ye nkomo a yatwetwe na ensem a wo kan nyina no ahyase a ebem wo hwe patenta krema na se how ekwan be so na afa so timi predict manes abem si
wait a minute, I know I say, and I'm fiti sprekung and that with TF when I say. On say your baby skill and being so your baby say experts, right?
Yeah.
So a juma obey a fiti result in ABC the same brain. The away no say who experience in the idea. And I will build it up. Your friend say the information, and I say you're able to predict things. Into I make us say, "Do my beer," and say, "Oh, you need a drew baby." To me, I say, idea way a basic, an idea way a basic. So we see any inquiry. So what I say, and that is, I would say that is exactly what's happening to me. No, so in focus, oh, me who idea my say, I mean, who say, cha. Based on the fact that be observe trends be and I say near maybe say question na fe say the way I create them just say and I mean so when it say when it comes to geopolitics and I say anything to do with security and defense the whole name field so yeah that's the reason why in here most of the things you see and I say question from 2020 and I mean we'll discuss it and all that. Na me sometimes we here for maybe to maybe through challenge any at the anyway, but I think that rare at our question I say move and some na American I say na move the question. So just Rebecca say majuma.
Okay. Minya afi yembumvra ebibimem ene me pese gidin komo efa enoma ekoso ewe bibimem minya nanseimu yehu coup ahodo a ekoso me fa nko akire Mali ayebia Burkina ayebi, Guinea ayebi, recently Gabon and Niger and Swahibi. A dear Ben Massa no my say dear as a man home wrestle a coso I will be men.
My uncle say so we share my more a free young fan from 1960 so Banoa a BB my i.e. The southern part of the globe, which covers obviously majority of the African countries near. That's where we are near. So Shimwa from the time of independence, roughly, every 10 years, so Shimwa across Africa, who's the Sakrano watching, which is 8. What do you say? The Sakrano. Normally a range between 8 and maybe 20, 25. So what you say? Okay. Of course, I see what Africa within every 10 years, every decade, roughly that's what happens. But the TNS normally nipa adwene nshada nkoso. The difference between the ACCC and the statistics are media amount because the ACCC a bantentem. Meaning that the American because we share from 2020 to now, coup is about 7 NS. So, and very significant. What you say? The TNS sana enunti amane basano, but eniyama bebre so taichi.
Okay.
The entire the ekosui abantentem. So, you know the betimi aka concept. So you're ready.
Okay, a bit is a normal bit is a bobo so Marcumi be a normal money contentem. And a first so betty kua, yes, a soldier for no could to a bani go, more communipa, my see. Na timemufono a jaumo I am she. But Nancy who see be a normal air cosona. Se coup in yes sleep, not timemufonimum any j a bossy say ye pay a ye soldier buying. A dear bang and Namanabasa.
And no, as I say, I'm not sure we say, Nip Timemufo no do na Ejibia or more Abain, and I said the political class no Akofom.
Okay.
What you say? And democracy in so no, ni him in Agina, Sabian, so it is a political class no, if say. One of my friends, a political class, and one answer the elite and idiomosono. Says I cacano, a mutia, the problems is saying ever. But the Nihin no do na free. It's a number of factors to what you say. Bakoye of the Bruni Becca said geopolitics, what you say. Bakonso ye lack of integrity, and I say Ubeka say. Omo mudi ama mine ni mono omuni integrity ka ya be kan say ochi
yem fa na brofo ne sa
but according to say omo no credie ni o mafasa.
Okay.
No credie ni o mafasa enti ama timamufo no gibi omo wo no eso ate pa na afa no so no southern Africa side so who say one more especially West Africa into Arabian Peninsula terrorism say extremism so I say nkofo omo eji eniema bidi to say bia Islam for and say extremists no omo abebochinku because of the resources what's Africa, only Africa, there, can say resources are your resources, what you say.
Yeah.
Now, because of governments are corrupt and any money, ama these terrorists or extremists, it's me a butching coup. I will me be brave. This any money come for and contribute to the cost. But the biggest issue, the circumstances are koso and I say reasons and somewhere koso and pushing now huma once I make say it was tied to Russia Ukraine war so kaya make say depending on baby support Bekono, some of the countries experience coups because Russia Wagner Group to in feature. That's exactly what I said, right? Because almost in feature here.
Yeah, okay.
What you must say? You know, on more governments, acquire say Western oriented, and almost experiencing most of these things, especially with the Francophones, because the thing is Russia, who said Russia-Ukraine war, have almost economy, Ama almost in a way, they are being isolated. So what is it? They say in Russia, why it is a wounded lion or pet and for or pet ama maya which many or my day. Atun side the Akobem crony idea. It's like or try to certain countries who names obetimia influences and there no soon tina a French president, which is Emmanuel Macron. I can't say in this Western world in Russia too much because almost yes are a behadring because no him say Russia already was sending Wagner Group
better get it a Francophone countries,
Yes. So no him. On the geopolitics, what happens is all the big powers, Ubia Nimnedia, what you say? Britain, Edim Omodia. Britain, Edia Omonim, Odiem Minkaba Commun, which is Ghana and Nigeria. Yet they are Britain influence into the same thing that France is influencing most of the Francophone countries. What you say? But Russia, since Putin took over from 1999, they've managed to penetrate. So what you say into most of the Francophone countries, almost struggle with English countries, because Britain for are very smart when it comes to managing certain things, and also acquire France for FASO dealing with colonies. What they are saying, also Britain for they allow people to do things, but now say be or China or try to obey police strings. But open say we bibia. Obama o kwan say wo de ye so ati ase nja kwa ti say o
magono memu amaye
but France so de enti say France de ono baba bobo no pepepe wa go prama no so ama wo be hu say wo bobi so wo hu de enti that is the problem and only France it make us a France's headache to say I mean most of the countries I struggle with France. So and sa chemune papa mu no so no because na France ni mu no and Russia so ni say net here internet the omo ye ne say omo the Wagner group no e ko hihye try say omo engaging in most of the your friends say illegalities and as resources are omo hwia no inti ama omo build it in some of these countries
no.
So what they were here and until ama 2020, 2021, about 2022, make us say, sir, Ukraine and Russia and sense I'm say, Oman saw no a bedroom a behard because a best spread it Africa because Russia main fan say I almost say I just say bargain visa. It's like almost the the Western ransom because don't forget the West value democracy. What they are saying, and the Russians who say that any basa destabilizes some of the areas more working so hard to bring democracy. It's like I say yes, I set more back to the old dark ages and I say the old ages. What they are saying, which is rampant spate of coups in the idea, and that is what is happening. Based on the circumstances of or the fallout from the Russian-Ukraine war in relation to the fact that the Francophone countries, obviously because of the corrupt nature of leaders and Russia are managing tapping into military base and
okay.
But I wasn't said there is a significant most of the people know who take charge in I had to say presidential guards as almost bang a bino Omuna etutu aban no gu no mu take over.
Na just abo bi beka wa na Jerica was ufrantuma ni bi.
Very good.
Wow.
Very. And only ya is to say.
Okay, minya yemfe nwura ha. Coup ahodo na akoso from a year 2020 e babisi a year 2023 Europe 2024. Yenim say bia baby to say Ivory Coast or more so no e be koso or baby to say Cameroon because you say the francophone countries in there Russia na nkofo no Putin omo pese omo jiboso. Afei yenwure mu ha. Coup ahodo a ekokoko so yanti de biara da say eye Mali die a ekọ so ECOWAS akwa invade eye Mali yanti de biara da say ECOWAS eye omadwen say omoko eye Guinea omoko eye Burkina even Gabon die a esinanse ya akra no yanti de biara da say ECOWAS aye omadwen say omoko akwa invade eye Gabon nemom die yeti ye on fremamu an say ECOWAS ebo mo asa abra meka sei menim sei bi o makwa o ma start dia o mo yo madwen say o mo kwa akwa invade eye Niger a Ghana asojafo enso ebo abo o mo ho na eye ensem de dodo na eka titru oba Ghana o mo say oh adentina asojafo no ye mo makọ edie benti ana ECOWAS epese Niger nko ade o mo pese o mo kwaka o mo ntokwa na enkoye eye Mali ene Guinea ene eye your friend is saying Gabon na Niger nkoa na omubese omukwaka omontokwa.
Okay. On say ye come be say ade esia for the when you hwe ne han but e dru ba bia ohun say ade na ni ya enya.
Aha.
What you say? Inti ECOWAS no te ho no so ohun say ade the way boboban it's like a wave inti say fine who say Mali who say Guinea ne niam no nyina no esisi wo ho but ohwe the way at the jet the ne na is like a year twa ECOWAS ho ahia so what you say and nontina ma omo ye omadwen so no ese so so no but the bigger thing so no to say the American geopolitical influences ya on say ho no a lot of French and American troops egu hopa because of a year meka to do with terrorism near the end. A hona ahodi jina o.
Okay.
Niger side ho. A hona ahodi jina nti say omo anso ano wo ho na so omo ye hwehan a na etisi ho a ebe breaking into Nigeria, ebe breaking into Ghana and abrofono the last thing omo want to say Ghana and Nigeria ejabes ebe so ha. What am I say? Aha, enunti na ekoba ase Nigeria na obubufu yi because so omo in America say that extremism on say so Boko Haram say na say omo activities no matimi aso ano kaka because of the French and American militaries no a position omo sanwechi omo ho on the bank of the Nigerian Niger border near Athena and omo de hang omo push into the Horn of Africa side so what you say into na quite so omo no cut off sa extremism activities no what would the way akoye no into no a hono a very big contentious issue and until at this point no more person going in because someone him say Niger lose Niger pet problem ebeba so what would the way akoye no and moreover no Niger also our resources are obviously France needs so much which is uranium you know some of these things obviously contribute to it just I think the ECOWAS felt also said I said they wanted to show face that we exist, we can deal with these issues and all that. But just like I said, from a perspective of where I sit and I said when you look at the bigger picture, that would have been a wrong move to go in militarily. So what I say?
So ECOWAS for tuashom also
we using military force. It wasn't the best type of ideas. What you say because of So who corner who yes who kutu a minus free you are going to create what we call a power vacuum. What you say? So create power vacuum. It means that then you are even emboldening the extreme people, your factions, and I say extreme terrorists, to now have the opportunity to actually expand within Niger. So I say, you might as well, even though you might as well allow the military to stay in whilst you negotiate and try to force them in a different way, which is for me, in this modern world, what we call economic warfare. What you say?
Yeah.
That is what used to squeeze government, because they will cut you more from so many things. Pressure no more woman
Nigeria no more supply I think say electricity I saying and and other countries around are not more crime bi so no ECOWAS effort so more kate but still
say France and I say America and I say Britain, the West, once trading near the we hear majority of the transactions is done in dollars and all that. And a country be our foreign reserves near there. We hear our mount for almost Santos. What you say? Into those ones and the moment, and I mean, who say a sense or more sanctions to so. And no but force it government of the day into a corner. So what you say? And then that will force them to come to the table and then negotiate and agree to hand over power. So when they were at the end. But because ECOWAS Queen and Nimuna or say they can do it, and also my Western world, in a way, that's almost that. So okay, you heard your mobile me. So when they were and that is why Nigeria, just like you said, almost tries or mobile cut or more from obviously electricity or gas or whatever, almost blockade, almost border, close borders, any idea. Yes, the only thing is the pain now is a government in feel because all say, oh yes, idea no, you expect within Niger, no, nipa no mugu krono so no who be here, afi omo be dani omo di omo bufo share be ko aban so which is obviously the coup leaders no. So when they were akoye no. Into a basa no, omo justification from taking over no. Afi no, ebeye as Bruni will say, it becomes null and void. So when they were here no. But because they still have access to some of the foreign reserves in Yemen, they are still able to maneuver and also negotiate with countries like Burkina Faso, like the Malis, and which is also being funded from the Russian government. So what they are more or less like what we call the extensions. This is typical Cold War activities in ECOSOC.
Wow.
What you say? Tokwano, yen shada nku few, yakoko abonte. So that is what is happening at this point in time. And obviously, the unfortunate thing is that always, global south for yena, we bear the brunt of akasifuano problems. So, yani ako to say asaseno, ena asuno miuno, asuno na ekona, asaseno ebre. You get it?
Yeah. Na me ba be busa na me ba o say edin sunsan so betimi abre Ghana because Ghana one of members ECOWAS. Ye dey asra for ekoho na Burkina friend saying Mali Niger friend say Gabon omunya so akabo say ombeboa Niger for no Guinea Munyano, a bit made in Susan so abre yen Ghana for.
Oh, it's answer something when you look at militarily, France and as America decides to go in full flow. Burkina, their military might cannot even stand the test of time. What they say, but the TNS, in Ghana, no. Fine. Say we will join as a group or as a member state of ECOWAS. What you say? Directly, no. I wouldn't think any country, either Burkina or Mali, will try to invade Ghana. But what will rather happen is already, once they will try to infiltrate your military apparatus, So what you say? That is what's happening. Into they infiltrate your military apparatus, fund some figures. They have problems with the government on the way. Abani boom mining at the normal ashomo kutupa normal the two abayagu. But and also so Emma who said, and I think saying call for a drink also Ghana and then Nigeria and to some extent Cote d'Ivoire. Your my and say presidents never and you say Ghana and Yamfa Ghana and I mean Germany.
Okay.
So why a Kufuado buy? Well, say or top hierarchy of military waiting in aha. Sa adeɛ no yɛ no ɛno na aboa na aban ne sese nti no the appetite is not there say ɔmo soro hɔ no sese no obi bɛyɛ na adwene so to because ɔmo nyinaa yɛ Akufo-Addo na de ɔmba ne boys basically so ate ase nti no obiara ni hɔ fine yɛ no wave no ɛkɔ na ɛkɔ so but there wouldn't be the appetite in Ghana at this point in time because ɔno Akufo-Addo no was sanitizer soro hɔ nyinaa nti no bɛyɛ de sɛ wobɛka sɛ coup bi betimi atie free soro hɔ no ɛna again no or try so they as you know no or the party functionaries you know ahyehyɛ even low level ranks nti no before I will be plan sɛ wo kɔyɛ bibi no na yɛ ate to dada
wow.
So when they were happening,
yeah.
Akufo-Addo, a holiday, I would say, he played a really smart.
Why smart?
He played a smart game. Yeah.
Wow. Because UTT Facebook comment I would draw tabi ba the moment a coup be because nano ya okache me ya me posti. Oshe comment ba Gabon the na say I'm for ni aje dabeni bisi wa Ghana and I was like na sebi yes so yeti asundue monzo so no obi mpai bone say cool insi wo Ghana. I was like asemu
well the TNS also won't experience cool that you will cry for cool because I would say a civilian government now you this no omodi ma bros omodi abros anti na say wapa ba say no we because the beba bia mra odiase. But what I will say is a coup there enyadepa.
Okay.
The reason why I make us a coup nyadepa no near mamienu. Say coup no a destabilized country no as basically you find say more progressive for better 10 years na twumwa ko mochi 20 years. Nti no emwa o man puntu.
Okay.
Etoso bie mo no coup eba ono mo be di animu a mo se omo se o mining tin na ya ba ni ade omo nya be di so a after omo maximum of a year or 2 years no ube hu say the civilian government ne ye no omo so no omo ye nti wo dey for obi to say Guinea president Dumbuya what you say obedi so no a na afi ohun say otimi ware dodo ebi ka ho ne ade o hwe say o hwe na funin the way awa ye kra na it tells you say
odidi
so what you say odidi and so and in the long run so we will be a odwen kwa kira we be hu say omo nyina no is for the same thing it's all about
power to me me twa no kra no ye de ekọ Ghana Jerry ebaye no obia so Dr. Jesus, Junior Jesus, born in Samrania would be brave. A query no, na afi, no man can to be a coswa, ye did say, chayi, a one abemo. O share a
but Obi to say Rollins Diano, yes, or ye, and ye Bibian or ye, but Oshe Rollins and Sonia man or ya. It tells you, and again, and the India make us a coup, a static country back. About the environment were 2 and 9 million. I feel a certain back or back on the Nechibe 10. No, because say, military way almost take you over. Within the international community, no, they don't want to engage them. So what I say,
okay,
because within the international community, no, almost say we are illegitimate. Anything no, basically, we take you over power forcefully. The only people are, and I say the only countries are almost who take power, who leverage here. India, I'm say, who factories, and I say who produce very significant assets to be at areas in here. I know they are forced to negotiate or compromise. So what I say, but scientists are almost be traweja into no you be
Order for me pesa me mauti asese nipa kwa na nyankopon boye ni nyina eni eye kanea se kanea no edumu a wadwumadie nyina apem e wote asefo asase so make sense so na bia adwumadie bebre wo ho e wose woye na woda abusua no na wohwe na mmom se ni dumu wa na wabrabo no apem enu nti na me ka kire wo atu mensa fra wo se bra eso heba hospital e ya ultra modern hospital aye bia nyame animu nie obedru ha wobehu se wakoma atowo yem na bia ye de wo fa consulting mu ne ye obi bia wi a ye beso wani ne so e de amount aye no de ye ngi wusika na ebia wo pedro na akofie ana ye de wo beto ye 3 months treatment no so de e wo se wo ye den wutimi etuaka ye gi mobile money so enti me stress se wo ba boa ho ne bra wani na efra wo mame ani efra wo papa ani efra wase ani efra wo babi ani efra wa konta bi no wo huna mane me pa ocho fa ne bra eso heba hospital ye location no e wo Amasama Stadium Junction wo hwe ye pharmacy fe ya e free high ko nyina ye bibidro kama wo hwe mensani fa so ha nyina so a ye bibidro kama wei ni adwuma so a eso heba hospital nyame adom ode a cheyen na Ghana hafa ne nyina de branch ni ba bia eka Amasama Stadium Junction e honkoa e na yen head no ewo eno nti ope eso heba hospital e chira kwan dia bebia wo fi bebia no kaso besi wo Amasama Stadium Junction sa wo yiran so a wotime peke number na egu screen na se no na wo fra mpanyifo beje oso enti wo ba e ya frɛ na gi nkyerɛkyerɛmu na nye wa hoboa ansa na wetu na esi ha ye twɛn se wo so wa benya wa yaresa ene wo gie nyankopon hira no no monka ho kopem se be se hye biom bye bye
na me ka se o hwe eye entokwa wodo Ukraine Russia o hwe eye oba West Africa entokwa boboba oko eye China so a the same thing na ekoso ho Jenipa bebre ayam sese and the thing say ebetima generate eye ewiase nyina ntokwa ebetimi happen anase bedun pempenso bi esa beba back to normal na bibia akoso ana
the atiane say the way to know young can say 1900s BC 19 obviously after Second World War in 1945 and they more for me friend say UN other major multinational bodies to say more maintaining and I said they try to bring down the heat so what you say of maybe a confrontation say it may escalate big into a world war Ubeka say the likelihood to say a world war bit me energy no form kakra but ubia o security analyst as so who say risk is dynamic what you say and because risk here dynamic into no any much misses quick Emma adia wonim say ketwa bi no etimi yakesi what you say into for me ubi samia I always say just like in catcher will say niema bisi na niema bi keka bo ani a world war betimi asi what you say so wo hwe we are dynamic talk also say wo hwe the way Russians started no mo na punch Ukraine na Ukraine ati say ordinance akata na nim na enyi na bobo no so what you say but say na wo mo na Ukraine atotwede baako which is to say no mo akohite Russian yibi within the Russian friends territory so what you say and no chair will say as the war no koso no Ukraine build their resilience build their resistance into eventually after omo be start so omo beto twede na twede no omo beto no e be force Russia ma ono je punch na after be ka say hey any after me bo akwa na twede kese pa no hu se oni panyin na eko odi ase no be ma obetimi akoyusu weapons is banned internationally.
Okay.
Yes. And no be trigger other countries are almost feel say they have the responsibility, especially within the Security Council. You're looking at America, Britain, and France. China, they will try to say so because China, it is in his interest to say the Ekosu, they are hoping say Ebema the West influence Beba from normal moment start your project. So what you say? Into normal and said but sa train na makan France, Britain, America no. Say a broswa they will be forced to also intervene and then they create world war. So what you say? But in Yanruho. Okay. In Yanruho. In the World War Biana, so historically, you realize a World War Biana before a basin. Starting getting it anomaly. It means expanded up to a period of about 5-6 years, sometimes 9 years. What you say? Because before a base hit the peak, none summoning a mania maybe into the ecosystem, into the maker say, oh yeah, risk analysis is geared towards where the war will go. Said Nipa do no involved, which is the UN now, engage diplomatically to try and calm tempers. So na say countries a buffer UN SWA as a mediator, and definitely world war between yes. So what you say? But when no na so e ka ho, he said they make catcher say yes, she a power struggle. We mo pese omo dominate. We mo so pese omo pese omo be ja power na omo holding on into twema mentwe. Afi e be koso akopem say de obeye mre no e be ka say afi de me mapem nti no. She say de o de mo wini. Then we be who say new laws, new institutions, new bodies and all. Eventually no. Niema best. But me who say in the next from obviously I started from 2020 back. So what I say, which was with COVID in there, and then America starts to squeeze China economically by way of say tariffs. Near money. Nina are part of Ntokwano. Yeah. Nina are part of it. But I said to say the America you were different types of warfare. You were economic, you were hybrid, you were obviously kinetic warfare near there. Kinetic in the last phase. The honor the emphasis is Ibia, Russia need Ukraine, but they it will be of the bigger picture. So okay. Because don't forget, right now, no Chinese economy also has started because of obviously the Western world, has started diverted supply chains from China. What you say first, not China, they produce the majority of the products that areas in the use. To say Abrofono as are diverted into other areas to say Vietnam, even India, other places. So what I say, in Yama to say China, a demand now, and as a production levels, airdrop it. And I was there. Somebody said, "No, big can make." I mean, 2017, no big can say, "Oh, China will overtake US," and I say, "Make radio issue and Mrs. Sudia said it will never ever happen. Said will be to one and Adrian so China will overtake US, they should sleep. It will never happen. Because we share economically how things are near the end. China are rich, what we call and Omar reach the peak. They say it's like economic heating at the key place. The only way China is going to go, moving forward in the next 5, 10, 15 years, they said either so omobe maintain your level your move, and I say ombetia bafom. What am I saying? Because economically, omo capacity, omo rich, and unfortunately for them, because of obviously the choices of the omo CCP, any idea, Ama West now no make your money from majority, air diverted supply chains and areas to be able to become a big economic player and answer whatever. It's dependent on your supply chains.
And what do you have here? Some money in my imagine say omo bovra combined with a year Brazil, China, friend say Russia, BRICS.
You mean the BRICS?
Yeah. In Africa, they can conquer.
I know, right? But Monsieur Rias and one serious here. When and now you make a fool of yourself. What am I say? So our word BRICS, no. British economists be na or share the way at those countries no more pick up on yadina and or coin is our term no as break. What do you say? It was a kind of South Africa became on a BRICS. What do you say?
Yeah.
But when you look at a near especially with supply chain union, our BRICS no would have been effective if say your friend say globalization and not cost for that from 1990s into say up to 2017 2018 no now globalization vibrant no a whole moment now all the project say China will overtake US as the biggest economic superpower, then I would have agreed with you. What you say?
Yeah.
But near masses supply chains have been diverted. So say Western world who say the clear intention of China is now in the public domain. What you must say? They say who say and for that reason, they say in the Western world, diverting most of the resources away from China's your friend is a clause. In the China projections now, some economists name be predict is never going to be it won't materialize because so many things come into play. Right now, China, almost within almost economy, they were again engaging in a massive expansion in terms of infrastructure. But right now, is termed economic heating, right? Reach a point to be to say production line up. Wow. The only way is to come down.
Wow.
What am I saying?
Yeah.
And that is the problem. And our almost society is changing in the sense because almost raising almost standard of living to a certain point. They say Sikana, say omunya as profits almost immediately they say omunya because within the country, wages have gone high up. And the say first, would you for $2 to work 10 hours? They say any expansion of the economy. They say just would yes say maybe $10 for 10 hours. That means that profits will have fallen, even though spending habits will go up. Profits are falling, but because expansion is not there, the demand is exceeding your friend say the supply. Pressure will go on the economy eventually.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah.
And or more experiences to say, and that's what's called economic heating.
Wow.
So
yeah.
Charlotte, the real and call for Western world. I think that idea mehun is in call for underestimated the West, the power and the consolidation of power by the Western world. And ayana sometimes me to na me hwedian no masere.
Na wasere.
Me hwedian no masere.
As a Western because omo ewiase no omo atra over 500 years, correct? Omo ni hihye wiase no and they know
enye se bia omo edu omo atra wiase na bia 500 years. Omo adwene na ene omo the way omo si ba hihye omo ne ma afa no. Omo ye so smart to say ewiase na ekọ na nim na omo observe hu say nipa dodo no esesa omo behaviors ni ade no. Omo so no ayo omo systems ni in such a way say na no so sesa in line with the NEA into no. It's like that is a ewiase no 8 to 2 to catch up. No omo so 2 there is always going to be that gap there. What you say? If not that, because at the dinner, omo be try say omo put sanctions on chips, omo blockade Russia or China or for that matter these countries almost feel say they are national security threat. And then omo blockade omo from acquiring certain chips in any manner. What you say? It's because they realize say no go for na be nti say hey ho asem ne mo omo saka ne niam ni nyina na afi yentimi manage problems of the bebre into from Donald Trump time started say titanium and I told you say almost done to do that because almost create impression be about him say we a no nonsense person. So what I say. Into no we obey the obey na no mu a man con China afi normal politicians, which is obviously people like the Bidens or other Western nations, or more back, but or still normal maintaining president now. Donald Trump will be what do you say? And they're even tightening the knots the more. And your my and to make I sometimes once I may know because I may catch her say the all my in the next 5 to 10 years, and like you be so which is Chinese economy will contract. Into a policy of containment almost containing Chinese economy. So and that was the mistake I may catch her say Russia is making say or say or China will no. China economy is not services dominated. It's Ebuakanisim. And Ebuakanisim, what does he do? And they say the main Cold War mentality, into any baby influence wanting, and that is why I make us say African countries, mobono. And most of these francophone countries should be smart because Putin or using Wagner, it's for his own interest.
Yeah, francophone countries should be smart. And yes, almost French for no in some way.
100%. I agree.
Ghana,
I agree.
Nigeria. I say after independence, you found in some way, even though Abrofono Koye, still, Omuda etechri, our mutitinkura. But you to make a crabia, it me the yemo maybe, and my motoy as a country. But what a francophone countries now, it's not like that. And don't you think, sir, and until now, Russian super will take a influence?
No, but you have to answer me say, Bibi Uncle Kapapa and J credit, and they say, someone in the policy of assimilation, France for no, that was that, and no, they hinge on anything in our own relationship with the francophone countries, it is said yet, British for no, and I say other colonial powers did not have that similar way, say, what you say, with Omo colonies. So what would the way at the end? But France has it with their colonies. In the policy of assimilation, it's like yenina yogu bo bakum. It is still na no bibiano it's a say fire. So what would the way at the end?
Okay, yeah.
Aha. And no problem no. In the francophone countries, no but we call France much more easier than the way I no. Yetimi a movie bar Britain nominee is animal. What do you say? And those are the benefits. And obviously, francophone countries in any French for no a times of ambition. But I mean, who say, we break free from colonial master. It's only ideal that you keep on negotiating on terms. And I mean, blaming the people now, elect you into power to some extent. What do you say? Because money mo chrome for network. Se niema nko ya, se munya kache mo nko for no se ebia. Say ni afese ne French aban ko jem. Na munya the power or the legitimate approval from the people no.
Yeah.
Ukona one kasa France ni any other say than to agree so okay any system so how the way akwa.
Okay.
Minya. Omo yes ani. Enunti na enani ne nyina no. That issues no wo no. But yeah, from the other angle so so what the Russia no there is no way no Orban or the Orbe in any way. And self-interest. Ni na no entina won say bibia na make say it's about geopolitics. Geopolitics is about self-interest. The country bia no or primity. What do you say?
Yeah.
Now people how and sometimes I tell people say people how countries will behave and I say should the way almost related to countries call for almost close one. Should the way almost if I treat you
Yeah.
How many people African people ebeko Russia more the opportunity to compete at the level and even get into political how many?
Never. Even how many black people and the war in Russia. And sometimes
this is the point I'm making.
People are praising
and no one should tell you, sir. Obibeka said, wako di ni nsem no. And I want to who is you na afi or pe baby edinity afa no wako horo nani because moko no hihye nani. Inti na afi oba o si chale o de say o de o mepewa asem. O nim say mepewa asem. And o de try say o de be manage or no. But enye wo interest into no aba. Or no self interest into no aba.
Because people are praise healing put in there or Africa for them or entire African and nipa or pay us and I say enye ye be bintina war ban anka obetime hu say bia okoye Russia you could see say bia Ghanaians, most of Ghanaians are in Russia ebi omo ye bibi as compared to ebia oko UK oko America oko oba Germany if you omokra na ye feel say omo ye racist kra na ne omama ho kwan obehu say Ghana ni ana say Togo ni ana Nigeria no we police ni we soldier ni but oko Russia sa no man nkoso ho oko China ohu sa no man wo ho and still ye praise omo say omumom ana e ba beboa and sometimes me tena se hu se no nkofo pese omo nso yisu omo adwene konka ye no ma bi ayewo
I said no say the perfect scenario me say it is said ohene ediuso na henkwa ukona oni ahenkwa kasa oni okasa fine what you say ohene betimi atoto ohene betimi apapa wapampe but as soon as ohene be free ho ahenkwa be ba be di hene afi ukwa ono sto e kan kwase asam kire what you say the reason why India countries like China or Russia, Iran, try say they will get close to African countries. It's because almost a power. Okay. Once they get the power, they will place us. They will treat us the same way as Western, probably even worse than the West.
Yeah.
Because as we've rightly said, the West, over the years, they've tolerated some of our people who have come to work with them. Some have even risen in political circles, and what they are saying, even though and yet idea or more person or more, but they are doing it in a way to show say, oh, you're not Russian or Chinese, they don't care. Nipa no ye hutuntum no krombe mfa wonyahwe say be obebu so ya abo abi what am I say but because of the power na we who say western world ni bi o mani no nti na I say you crocro the john or da do nti no or the ye mo de ne mo a but o pese wo hu a treatment a Chinese nationals call ye crew mo a the way they treat our people even on our own lands and that should tell you say Africa, you're making mistake. Near my countries like that, it take you over. Then we are doomed.
Okay, Minya, enkomono ya yede, but me besi ebu ni thought. Okay, Minya, ye bedase, say ye two yensa e de freo obae, intino e da foforo no, ye betua ye nkomo twetwe no so. Nyankopon kan Minya.
Yes, me da makopi. Onkamas mo. My bad.
Abusuya said ye din kan e de kire mo e ka de kire mo no dane de nyina ye hu de normal ekoso e wo wiase ye hu politics ene normal sebi ntokwa hodo a ye koto yensa e de frɛ ye nua yi na oba ono so aba be kire di woni waka ansema hodo bebre wonso so no nimde kakra wo no obetimi de aba na yi nyina abobo ebere mi etwa mu waka ansema hodo bebre nkofo be comment ye na obua but enne with the test of time no nensem na okan ni nyina no abem enu tina da ne de nyina ye ne di nkomo yakopon sha no onye okesi bi besi ya piao